Guys, we need to talk, bro. We need to talk, bro, because I just read the new Chainsaw Man chapter, and oh my god, we got so much information that I was not expecting. The chapter's really funny, but we get to see sort of the reveal, and I think we're gonna get the other reveal, like the main reveal, next chapter. But oh my god, let's talk. We gotta get through the chapter and I'll explain everything, right? So the chapter starts off with basically Denji walking around the city being depressed, hearing about the whole Chainsaw Man protest and stuff like that. And then even hearing students talk about the fallen devil, being like, oh, that was crazy what happened with the fallen devil. I'm glad Chainsaw Man was there to stop her and also to stop Nostradamus before it happens. And you just see Denji just dreading life because he can't be Chainsaw Man. And he's really upset. And so he goes back home and starts like blow drying like Nayata's hair, and then Nayata's like, the news is talking about that Chainsaw Man church again. They're saying there's a bunch of brainwashed dangerous kids, and it's trying to like motivate Denji, like, yo, they're fighting the police, like, yo, Denji, look. And then she notices that Denji's like really paying attention, and then Denji tells her the church days are numbered though, because I'm not gonna turn to Chainsaw Man anymore. And then Nayata's like, why? And he talked about like when Hirofumi told him that he can't be Chainsaw Man anymore, he felt really sad about it. But then like he really thought about it and was like, you know what, living a normal life isn't a bad idea, you know, it's not that bad. And then Nayata's like, are you sure about that? Do you really think living a normal life beats being Chainsaw Man? And then Denji's like, I do. And then he starts questioning, like, do I? And then we see like Denji starts talking to Poshita, and it's so crazy because we even see like the door, like before, like it shows Denji talking, but it shows like a door. And you know, like in part one, most of the time when Denji's like talking to Poshita or hearing thoughts from Poshita, we always see like a door. But this door is not the metaphysical door in his head. This is like actually just like a normal door. And it's him in the bathroom. He's like, hey, Poshita, for us, this life is like heaven, right? Like, despite that, it's like, now I'm dreaming of an even higher heaven. We could be happy with what we got, right, Poshita? We don't need to keep fighting. And I'm going to talk more about this scene later on, but we also get to see Meowie, like, just reminding us that Meowie still exists. Meowie still lives with them and stuff like that, which we already saw Meowie a long time ago when we saw the dogs and stuff like that. But we actually get to the big part of the chapter, right? The big part of the chapter, right? And so it shows Denji watching TV late at night while Nayata's sleeping, and it's actually like still like protesters, and it's live footage, and it's like this one guy. I don't remember if this is the same guy from the last chapter that was like basically like not the last chapter, but the chapter before that where it was like Haruka talking to them. I don't think it's the same dude. It's basically just like a politician or whatever, and he's basically saying like, yo, do you understand? Like he's basically talking to Haruka. And he's basically saying like, yo, do you realize what you're doing? Like how many lives that have been lost trying to be Chainsaw Man, trying to play Chainsaw Man, and y'all trying to fight devils and stuff like that. And basically Haruka's like basically like fighting for the Devil Hunter Society, like Devil Hunter Club. And basically like saying like, oh, all of us have combat experience. There's not a game to us. And like we only like the only people that work as devil hunters are people that have taken Chainsaw Man's teachings. And like what's wrong with following a sense of justice for us citizens? And the guy's like, oh, you talk about Chainsaw Man this, Chainsaw Man that. Where is Chainsaw Man? It's not like he gave you the directions, like, directly. And then Haruka's like, he has. And he's like, actually, if you want to see it, I brought Chainsaw Man here with me. And then everyone is surprised, but then we get this hilarious face of Denji being surprised. He's like, what? And he turns around to look at his phone. He's expecting a phone call. Like, he's like, oh, yeah, they're going to call me. And, like, he's really excited. And they're like, the guy on the politician's like, well, we can talk to Chainsaw Man right now. And like Denji's like, nobody mentioned that was gonna happen. And then Haruka's like, let's call them together. Here we go. And they call Chainsaw Man's name. And then we see this random tall dude say, greetings, I am Chainsaw Man. I'm coming to you from the Chainsaw Man church. And it's Denji looking with this absolute like surprised face. Like he looks so surprised. He looks like, what? And then the fake Chainsaw Man's like, yes, the rumors are true. My body is halfway between human and devil. I gained the power to turn into Chainsaw Man in a fateful encounter with the Justice Devil. The reason I fight to create a world without devils. In a devilless world, Adam and Eve will. And then like Denji just starts screaming. He's like, no. He's like, wrong. Denji wakes up, like not Denji. Nayata wakes up from hearing Denji screaming, and Denji's like, I never thought of that stuff. I don't fight for any reason. He said, I died a gazillion times, and next thing I knew, people were calling me Chainsaw Man on their own. Your guy isn't Chainsaw Man. I'm more Chainsaw Man than him. And he just starts crying, and I just basically like trying to like comfort him. Oh my god, this This chapter was really funny. This chapter was really funny. Right now, before we talk, I'm checking to see, because I'm trying to check if the app's going to say, no! I just checked. We have to wait 2 weeks for the next chapter. Oh, I mean, at least this gives me an excuse to really get that Makima video out before these next 2 weeks go by. But okay. Let's talk about everything we learned in this chapter, right? So we're gonna talk about. So the first big thing we're gonna talk about, like we already like talked about the whole like Denji and Naito talking about like, oh, do you really not want to be Chainsaw Man? We don't need to talk about that. We need to talk about first. Let's talk about the Poshita scene. So this chapter, I really thought we were gonna see Poshita, but we don't. And I think Poshita is once again in the scene. We don't see Poshita talking to Denji, but I believe like in his head, Denji is talking to Poshita and like they actually like have conversations and stuff like that. And I think we don't see Poshita because like we're not really like seeing Denji's like actual like inner thoughts as much in terms of like this situation. I think like he's talking to Poshita right in the scene, and I'm guessing that Poshita's like responding back to Denji in the scene and stuff like that, but we don't actually get to see Poshita. But I did like I said earlier, I did like that we see like a door before we see Denji talk, because we know that whenever we see doors, especially like in part 1, that it means that Denji's like talking to Poshita or Poshita's warning Denji about something. It's always like a door and a metaphysical door, and every time there's like devils or anything like that, usually even in hell, it's a bunch of doors. So whenever we see doors, we know that like something with devils is happening, like talking to a devil or meeting with a devil or going to somewhere with devils. And we even get to see, like I said, Maui from like part 1, you know, Powers cat and stuff like that, which we already saw like a few chapters ago, like whenever we first saw Denji and when we first saw Denji and Asa hang out at Denji's place. So that was cool. But then we get to the actual big part of the chapter, which I think this chapter basically throws out my theory. It's just so okay, so right, so the chapter we actually get to see like Denji watching TV, and we see like the whole protest, and we see like Haruka arguing with this like politician or whatever, and then like talk about we're not some games, we're not doing this for like a game, like we actually trying to save the world and shit like that. And then like we actually get to see like Haruka brings out the Chainsaw Man, and like it was, once again, it was funny seeing Denji like lose his shit about like, oh my god, what the fuck, they're gonna call me, and they don't call him at all, and it's just the fake Chainsaw Man. And then we actually get to see more of the fake Chainsaw Man, and I'm assuming next chapter they're gonna show like his face. But you know who this looked like? And I'm trying to remember if he's dead. Or not. But do you remember from the aquarium arc, whenever we saw like the old dude, the big dude, part of their club? Is this him? Cause I'm trying to remember if he's dead. Like I remember like he had like a messed up arm from whenever Yuko and them were fighting, and I'm trying to remember where he's at. Like, let me try and find him real quick. Give me 1 second. This guy, I'm probably showing a picture right now, but this guy on the right, does this not look like him? Like, that might be him. I know they all wear the same hat, so I can't be like, oh, they're wearing the same fit, but like, that's the only other like big person we've seen in the show. I can't believe I've never thought about him being Chainsaw Man. Like, is that him? Like, I'm really thinking about it. Like, I'm showing a picture right now. I'm probably showing y'all a picture right now. But, like, is that him? That might be him. And if that's him, that's, like, that's just so crazy. Like, oh, my God. That might be actually him. I think this is actually him. Like, they look the fucking same. Like, they look the same. Like, that's literally him. Yeah, I think that's him. But, I think that's basically... But I think that's the guy. I don't remember his name. I'm trying to remember his name. I don't think he has a name. And I'm looking it up right now. I'm looking it up, characters part 1. I don't think he has a name. If he does, I think that's him. And if that's him, it's so crazy. Like, he does have a name. So his name is Sigai Ikoku. That might be him. That might actually be him. Oh my god, my brain, it's just like, that's the only other character we've seen that looked like that. Like, that could be him, and that's him. That's so crazy. But anyway, back to what he said, right? Yes, the rumors are true. My body is halfway between human and devil. I gained the power to turn to Chainsaw Man in a fateful encounter with the Justice Devil. The reason I fight and stuff like that. And he talks about the reason he fights. He talked about the Justice Devil again. So this is like, once again, another time where we have talked about the Justice Devil in this, like, in part 2, but then we haven't seen the Justice Devil like at all. And we see the Justice Devil turned Yuko into that form and gave her powers. And we see that the Justice Devil is supposedly, like, if my theory is just completely not true, and this Chainsaw Man Part 2 is not like Chainsaw Man at all, like not like that Chainsaw Man theory that I had, and it's just a dude that was able to look like Chainsaw Man because the Justice Devil, this really puts the strength of the Justice Devil into like a whole new level, and like makes me just so much more confused about the Justice Devil, and like if they're lying or not. I don't think they'd be lying, because like no one else would know the Justice Devil, so why would you even bring up the Justice Devil like at all? Oh my god, this breaks everything. This changes everything. Like, what? I can't even, I'm trying to think right now while I'm trying to talk to y'all, but like that might be it. He might be the fake Chainsaw Man. Like, we're gonna see probably in 2 weeks from now who, like, if it's actually Saigi Akoku, or if it's just a brand new character that just looks like Saigi Akoku. But I think, like, here's my theory right now. This is why I'm gonna leave the video off, because everything else in the video we talked about is basically funny, but this is like the main part of the video that's why I'm gonna get off, right? This fake Chainsaw Man brought up about how basically, like, they were a normal human, but they became halfway human and devil whenever they fought with the Justice Devil and basically like awakened or something, or like had an encounter with the Justice Devil. That's what he said, right? And so I'm assuming what happened is that somehow the Justice Devil was able to give Saigi Akoku maybe like a different version of Chainsaw Man. Maybe like he's not actual Chainsaw Man. He doesn't have the same powers as Chainsaw. Like, he doesn't like have like the whole like wiping ability out thing, erasing devils thing or whatever. But I think like the Justice Devil gave him like basically like a prototype or like a copy of Chainsaw Man's abilities. Because if you really think about it, Chainsaw Man's abilities are not super complex. They're basically like he can rip through everything. He has like wires with the chainsaw wires he can use and stuff like that, and he has amazing regeneration. But like the other stuff, like the stuff that actually makes Chainsaw Man, like his power to eat people and eat devils and erase them throughout all of history and erase their existence, like that's something that can't be replicated. But I'm assuming like just like the basic stuff, maybe the Justice Devil can like replicate that stuff. And he does definitely fit the build. He's taller than everybody else, basically, like I said, and he's like a bigger build, and that's why I think it might be Psyche. And that's why I'm like, oh my god, I was not expecting this chapter to see like a person just reveal that like I am the second Chainsaw Man, I'm the fake Chainsaw Man. I thought this chapter we were gonna go back to it like to Asa, but no, that's not what happened. And now that this guy basically revealed that he's Chainsaw Man, now like Asa's gonna try and beef with him, and like, because now Asa and Yori are basically gonna hunt him down to figure out, oh my god, this is gonna get so crazy. This chapter was great. This chapter was funny as fuck. I'm gonna say that right now. All the stuff that happened with Denji, with him like stressing out, like getting mad as fuck about everyone talking about this fake Chainsaw Man, was really funny. But like, also with everything that just happened with us actually, like this guy just basically saying that he's the fake Chainsaw Man. This chapter was great. This chapter was great. I think that's everything I want to say. There's just, oh, I might make a video on this. I might have to make a separate video talking about how Saigi Akoku is because I think he is. There's no other, I think this is, it's either a brand new character or it's Psyche. He's the only person that fits the build that like actually like looks like the dude. Like, I can't believe I never thought about that. I'm so mad. I'm so mad I never thought that. But thank you guys for watching the video. Leave a like, subscribe, and see more content like this, and hit that bell post consistently. I'm gonna see you guys next time. Let me know down below what you think about this new chapter. I need to know what y'all think, and I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace.